So Professor Eagle Eyes, you know Professor Eagle Eyes?
No.
Okay, Dr. Manibwama. This is Professor Eagle Eyes.
Well, I didn't know that was his name.
Yes. In fact, he reduces the 1 million ways to 4.
Okay.
To 4. And he has this interesting thing. He says that reducing ballot stuffing, well-trained polling agents, arresting fake ballot papers, activating all body cameras. Simply put, NPP's true strength in Ashanti region has been revealed.
Okay. So that's a possibility. That this is the true strength of the party in the Ashanti region. It could be.
Could be.
Could be.
All right.
Okay. Now, the other thing too, which for me is important, and anybody who has watched elections before and so on knows that election rigging is only possible in your stronghold. You cannot win. It's only possible in your stronghold. Election rigging is only possible in your stronghold. Okay. So I think that also ought to be a factor that has to play in. But beyond all of this, I mean, yesterday I was listening to some NPP serial callers like Y2K and so on. And it was clear that they were bitter. Activists of the party were very bitter. This guy is talking about his experience, his child having finished school and looking for a job, and actually had to go and pay a bribe in order to get his child employed. And he spoke about the experiences of many others in the party. So you had a situation where the grassroots to middle level of the party actually felt cheated. And that also must have played a key role, not just in Ashanti, but throughout the country. Then there was the issue of messaging. And some of the messaging, I couldn't believe it. And I was wondering, who is advising these guys? At a time when we were experiencing power cuts, your party decided to use power cuts as an election gimmick. Don't vote for Muhammad because in his time there was Jimson. But we are in Jimson now. You understand? It was so silly, it was unbelievable. My area, Musuku, last night we slept in darkness. And it's not the Mahama era. In any case, why would you go back 8 years ago? Your whole campaign message was traceable to 8 years ago. The assumption then by everybody was that the current situation is so bad that you cannot deal with the current situation and you have to retreat into the past. It didn't help you in any way. Then there were the heavyweights in your party, and there are many heavyweights in the party, who felt strongly that they were being disempowered. They were deliberately being disempowered. A certain cabal within the party was going after them, and so on. That didn't help you. It didn't help you at all. Can anybody give me one good reason, or give the NPP or Ghana one good reason why Chairman Sabusu was replaced and replaced by Feno Maki? One good reason, just one good reason. Now, if you do this, how can you win elections? You understand? Clearly, somebody like Apia Kubi had been slated for execution, and it's reflected in the votes in his constituency, and so Eugene Entry. How did Eugene Entry lose his seat? You know it. So if you do all of these things, it comes back to eat you up. You understand? And then people in the party who were doing things which endeared the party and government to the public, the people were mad at them. Absolutely mad at them. When Mr. Kandapa, for example, made that famous statement about the judiciary and how the judiciary ought to behave in a multi-party dispensation, you saw the knives which were drawn and pointed at him. But that statement was a very popular statement. You destroyed it. He was giving you heads up. You went and destroyed it. How did you expect the election results to go? After misbehaving, how did you expect the election results to go? And then we have gotten into a situation where people actually now believe that the messages coming from you were not true. Because everybody knew that we were suffering from economic collapse. Everybody knew that we were suffering from economic collapse. And yet, your leaders kept telling us how wonderfully the economy was doing. Who do you think you were talking to? Children? Brainless children? No. We're talking to Ghana.
They are still telling us that.
And you're talking to Ghana. The people you're talking to, some of them understand economics better than you. The people you're talking to, they went to the same schools that you went. The people you're talking to live in the same communities that you live in. How on earth could you have believed that you could come up with this posture and win elections? How on earth could you have believed that you could come up with this posture and win elections? And then the considerations, even for giving people, opportunities and so on and so on, it was so nauseating. And you choose a vice president, a vice presidential candidate, only because of his tribe and where he comes from. And you're not even hiding it, you're doing it in our face. To the extent that his chief, makes a pronouncement that, look, if you become president and your vice president misbehaves, don't punish him. Come to me and let me punish him for him. And you expect Ghanaians to accept this? Do you honestly expect Ghanaians to accept a situation where the power of the vice president to discipline his vice is handed over to a chief, whoever that chief is? Did you expect that? That would be comfortable with it? Incredible. Now, all of this developed to the extent the founding members of the New Patriotic Party, some of whom I had the privilege of speaking to, are so frustrated that we're actually praying that the party loses election so that they can come back and reclaim their party and rebuild it. And I'm sure you've heard about that. Founding members of the party, they wanted you to lose so that they can reclaim your party from what they consider to be a cabal, which had hijacked the party. And there are many other reasons why what happened to you happened to you. The fact that important projects would no longer be completed and commissioned and so on. And people were wondering, look, these projects have been built with taxpayers' money. Okay? Why would any government refuse to continue them or to commission them? People could not understand. It was one of the major problems leading to your defeat. The major problems leading to your defeat. And reckless claims. Some of the claims were so reckless, it was unbelievable. Recklessness all over the place. So, there's a certain element of surprise in the election results. I've spoken to my friends in the NPP who claimed that they were actually expecting to win about 150 seats. That when they exceeded 180 seats, there was some surprise element. There were people who actually thought that former President John Dramani Mahama would win first round victory, and that he was going to get between 52 and 53%, about 50 and 7%. So there was some surprise elements. Okay. Now, how do I explain that surprise? I explain those surprises simply like this. What happened was not exactly the result of the competition between the NDC and the NPP. No. Yeah, the two parties existed and so on. But I think that over this period, a mass movement emerged. A mass movement who didn't have a leadership, clearly defined leadership. A mass movement who didn't even have a shape. And so on. Therefore, it was impossible to see the mass movement and to measure it. And that mass movement was simply the anger of the population, the resentment of the population. A certain section of the population which was so disillusioned about what was happening. It was not talking, It was not holding rallies. It was shapeless. It was leaderless. So when that mass movement, made its statement, it came as a surprise to all of us because we didn't even know that mass movement existed. Now, if you look at the elections, we also find that about 7 million registered voters did not vote at all. I hope I'm right.
Yeah. Yes.
About 7 million registered voters did not vote at all. Now, all kinds of reasons have been given for that. Some claim that they were NPP supporters who, for various reasons, did not vote. Why don't you also consider the fact that the voters' register could be bloated?
Mm-hmm.
Because if the voter register is bloated, you can get this outcome. Now, statisticians and those who know, I don't, raise questions about how a country with a population of 32 million people, most of whom ought to be below the voting age, has a voter population of 18 million. How is that possible? So if you have a bloated voters register, you can get this outcome. But even beyond that, it's also the fact that we don't know who they are.
But where were the 5.7 million free SHS people?
That's my brother here. As the honorable member of parliament. You understand? That was also a phantom claim.
That is easy to know. Because all the political parties, what they did at the polling station was that we all had the register. And we're taking those who had come to vote. So the point is that if you want to know those who didn't come out to vote, it's easy for you to know. Because in my constituency like this, the 14,000 people who didn't come to vote is easy. In fact, we started compiling them. It's easy to know those who didn't come to vote based on the activities at the polling station. Because both political parties, we all had the registers. When you come in, they take.
You don't know as of now.
No, I'm saying that it's easy to know those who didn't come out to vote. Because all of them are
separate statements.
No, I'm saying that they are all on the register. And so at my polling station, if Randy and Kwesi comes to vote,
in fact, we know those who voted and those who didn't vote by name.
We know.
Yeah, but Randy, I'm not contesting Honorable's claim that it is possible to know. I'm saying that we don't know now.
We do.
You know?
Yes. In my constituency, those who didn't come to vote, I know. Because the register...
And you know the products of the free SHS?
Yes, I know.
You know?
Yes. And in my constituency, we are... As I said, the register was given to each political party, each polling station register. Yes. And then I have...
But does the register profile the people?
No. The register will, as I'm saying, the register will tell me that Uncle Kwesi didn't come to vote.
Yes.
Because my agent would have taken those who voted. So it is my duty now as a political party to now tabulate or get information of all those people who didn't come to vote.
So I'm saying that it may be possible to know, but we don't know now.
We don't have those details.
We don't have those details.
Yeah. That's where I differ.
No, you can if you want to. You can find.
Because in my constituency, I know those who didn't come to vote. We have.
How do you know that those who didn't come to vote are largely?
No, those analysis we don't know.
No, that's the point. That's the point Kwesi is making.
Okay. Those analysis we are.
Yeah, that's the point he's making.
But in terms of those who didn't come to vote, we know.
Yeah, no, the point he's making is about the
but
profile.
But to do analysis and profile of the ages.
That's what. Okay.
That we are yet to. Okay. All right.
Now, if you don't have that information, you cannot then jump to conclusion that the 7 million people were NPP people who were disgruntled and that if they had voted, it would change things. In any case, let us assume that the 7 million people were disgruntled NPP people who didn't vote. That's a protest.
Yes,
that's a protest. That's an indication that they didn't like what was going on. So it doesn't absolve you. It doesn't provide any justification. I mean, you lost. Simply lost.